Yo, what is going on, guys? Wanted to go ahead and bring you the fastest blitz in the entire game. And this is going to be out of the nickel 3-3-5 or 3-3 odd formation. And the way this works is you get screaming fast A-gap pressure from essentially at the same spot where a defensive lineman would be, right? You can see that this is technically a linebacker, or in this case, it's a safety. But he comes flying up the A-gap to the point where there's not a whole lot you can do. Now, I will say this is not the overall best blitz in the game. It's 100% not. You do have to send a minimum threshold of people, and you're limited to kind of what coverage shells you can call. You can call your normal cover 3 sky, you can call Tampa 2, you can call 2 main under, you can call cover 6, cover 3 seam. You can call different things, right? So like cover 3 cloud, so it's not like you're completely limited, but for instance, you can't do this at a cover 4 drop. You can't do this out of, say, a Mike 3 press, right? So, like, there's certain things that you can't do it out of. Now, with that being said, let's kind of just dive right into it. We're going to show you this out of cover 3 cloud first. You do want to take your auto alignment, put that on baseline. You can set whatever zone drops you want. You can turn match on if you want. Now, for the sake of this, you are going to be running this flipped, so you will want the straight rush angle by the outside linebacker to be on the left-hand side. That is how you will know that this is flipped. You're basically just looking at the straight rush angle. And yeah, once you call that. Now, the setup's going to be a little bit interesting because you do want to blitz your linebackers a couple times. And then you want to go ahead, pinch your defensive line, and show blitz. Right? Now, whenever you do that, you should see that the linebacker comes down into the gap right here. Right? So this linebacker right here, Winfield, gets into the gap. Once he is good, you're going to take your linebacker over here on the right-hand side and just kind of stand here in this gap where the Lions are above him. You see the 2 green bars. Once he is being recognized as a rusher, you'll see those 2 green bars on him. But yeah, once you do that, you'll see that you're going to get screaming fast A-gap pressure. And like I said, you can do this out of all those plays that I mentioned. The thing that you do need to get used to is go ahead and pinching your D-line, showing blitz, making sure that linebacker comes down into the gap. If for whatever reason he doesn't, then simply just press over and over again, right? And he'll eventually come down into the gap. But yeah, once he does that, you'll see that you're going to get screaming fast A-gap pressure. In the rare occasion that it gets blocked, you'll see that you'll get a combination of edge and also B-gap by the defensive end, right? So here you go. You see we're good to go. And yeah, you'll see that this pressure just comes stupid fast right up the middle. Now, the thing you'll note here is basically what you'll see happen when people try to do the normal line shifts, right? So most people pick up A-gap pressure by line shifting to the right. If they were to go ahead and do that, you're going to get a combination of A-gap and edge. Oftentimes, you'll get both of those coming in. All right, so here we go. We're set up again. We're going to go ahead and line shift to the right. That time, you see we got the DNB gap. So that line shift doesn't work. And then the other thing to note with this is if they double team the defensive tackle, which is what a lot of people will try next, you'll see that once again, that doesn't work. You get the DNB gap pretty much every single time. Now, the downside to this blitz is the fact that if you line shift to the left, you will be able to pick this blitz up. All right, so if you were to line shift to the left, slide left, you'll see what'll happen. It gets picked up, right? So you do have to go ahead and make a different adjustment if that is what they're doing. So if they were going to line shift to the left, right? So you can do the same thing here. You'll want to take this linebacker and just stack him, right? So you'll move him out and you'll stack him on top of that defensive end. And then you'll play on either of these safeties, right? So you bring them down. You can play on the deep guy. You can play in the slot corner. You can do whatever you want. Generally, for me, I would put the outside guy into a zone, and then I would lurk right here. But basically, by adding that extra blitzer, if they were to line shift to the left, you're going to see that you get a combination of D-end edge pressure. You'll get a combination of that linebacker looping through the B-gap and also A-gap pressure. So With the combination of this being a 5 or a 6-man blitz, you're basically guaranteed to get pressure.